Well, hello again and welcome to another video. In this one, I'll be trying to install an NVMe drive into this cheap Lenovo Ideapad 120S laptop. I don't think this laptop officially supports Windows 11, but I've installed it with Rufus, thus I can bypass all the hardware requirements. It's pretty slow, but it's not AMD E1 slow, so I think it's quite usable. This has Intel Celeron CPU and 4 GB of RAM, and interestingly, this has 64 GB of eMMC storage soldered onto the motherboard. Onboard eMMC storage is usually pretty slow, and I was wondering how much that bottlenecked this laptop, if it would be somewhat faster if it would have, say, an NVMe drive instead. So I pressed Shift and rebooted to get into the BIOS, and there I checked for available storage. Only storage it shows is the RAM XL 64 GB eMMC storage, but interesting thing is that this has a Wi-Fi chip that is using an M.2 connector. And sometimes it's actually possible to, with an adapter, mount an NVMe SSD instead into this Wi-Fi slot. Now this might not work in all PCs. I've heard reports that some PCs actually internally route this Wi-Fi slot through a USB connection, even though it's PCIe on the end of the Wi-Fi card. But obviously the NVMe drive is going to need a PCIe connection. Interesting thing is that there's actually a slot for M.2 SSD here, but it's missing the connector, and even soldering a connector there wouldn't necessarily make it work, since it might also be missing some controller circuitry on the motherboard. Also, this here really looks like it would have a SATA connector there, so maybe this motherboard was used for many different configurations with different storage options. But yeah, let's disconnect the Wi-Fi card and disconnect its antennas and try to replace it with an NVMe SSD. Here I have a cheap AliExpress SSD. It's usually the SSD I test out stuff like this. So let's try to mount it in the adapter. There's different types of these adapters. This one is using this ribbon cable, so you could have a bit of flexibility in order to try to position this somewhere inside the laptop. So the M.2 SSD slots in the adapter like into a normal M.2 slot, and then the other end of the adapter goes into the Wi-Fi slot. This laptop actually has plenty of empty space inside of it. I think there's an 11-inch model with the exact hardware inside that. So this laptop is kind of just same as the 11-inch model, but just with everything spaced out a bit. So if I wanted to permanently mount this SSD inside here, I think that would be possible by just cutting off a bit of the plastic. But let's first try whether this works at all. Opening up File Explorer, it doesn't show anything other than the 64GB eMMC, but it shouldn't since we've not yet initialized the NVMe drive. Opening up Disk Manager, and it actually automatically offers to initialize the drive, so it seems to be getting recognized correctly. Now rebooting with Shift pressed in order to get back to the UEFI BIOS, since I want to see whether it's recognized there, and it actually is. It shows up in the boot order. We'll move the NVMe drive up in the boot order. So with a USB key, I'll be trying to install a Windows 11 installation into this new NVMe drive. In the Windows installation menu, the drive actually shows up right away, and I removed the one partition from there and installed Windows 11 onto the drive. Windows installed successfully and actually quite fast, but here when I'm booting the laptop, it's now seeing two installations since I still have the Windows 11 installation on the 64GB MMC. But it looks like I picked the correct installation that's on the NVMe, because it's looking like it's starting Windows for the first time. This footage is 3 times speed, so it's actually not quite as fast as it would appear here. Thanks to Rufus, we can skip the online account thing by pressing I don't have internet. I definitely don't have internet, and then continue with limited setup. So now that we're in Windows, this is not exactly blazingly fast, but these blank icons here in the start menu actually are not the PC being slow. These are just the PC with a local account that's not yet connected to Wi-Fi. And as you can see here, the Wi-Fi option is actually completely grayed out here, since we disconnected the whole Wi-Fi chip from the computer. But Wi-Fi USB dongles still exist. They might not be as good as the default Wi-Fi since it has antennas, but let's see. So for this one I didn't even need to install any drivers. I just needed to reboot the laptop and then I could just connect it to the Wi-Fi like normal. So I want to actually benchmark this new NVMe SSD and compare it to the eMMC drive, but first we need to run all the Windows updates so they don't have too much of an effect to the benchmarks. Okay, so here I have Crystal Disk Mark. So this is clearly not any scientific benchmark scenario. So I'm running the OS anyway from the C drive, which is the NVMe drive. That probably affects this too, but at least you can probably get a general idea about the speed difference from these benchmarks. The NVMe drive seems to be over 2 times faster compared to the eMMC, which is not a surprise, really, but I don't think it's as fast as it has potential to be. And if we open Crystal Disk Info, it confirms my suspicion because it's only using PCIe 2.0 times 1, but it would support PCIe 3.0 times 4. Now the Wi-Fi A/E key should actually support at least 2 PCIe lanes, but it seems like this one connector is limited to one lane only, which does slow the NVMe SSD. Interestingly, Crystal Disk info does not show the eMMC card at all, so it doesn't recognize it as a drive. Okay, now we know this does work, and it's possible to install an NVMe drive like this into the Wi-Fi slot. But the question is this really worth it? And I would say it's not in my case, since the eMMC isn't that much slower than the NVMe. It's still usable, I would say. However, I do see someone actually benefiting from doing this. Maybe if you just need more storage, I don't know. But also the thing is that the USB Wi-Fi card is significantly worse than the original implementation with the PCIe Wi-Fi card and antennas. So I think this was an interesting experiment, but I ended up restoring the original configuration with this laptop. This kind of low-end device could probably better benefit from running customized Windows 11 like Tiny 11 or Linux. Maybe I'll try that sometime. However, this is enough tinkering with low-end laptops for some time, but next video will be quite different. It will feature QL2X CPU.